Ultimately, it's a new, completely different way of seeing and perceiving the world. That's a paradigm shift where literally new things are possible from that new vantage point or understanding. So it's unlocking literally new potentiality. And you did that through your intention. In the first session with me, I guarantee a breakthrough or you don't pay. So I wanted to define as best I can what I mean by a breakthrough so that we're all clear. So a breakthrough could mean like an insight. An insight is a realization where you discover a different perception for yourself. And what happens after an insight is really cool. I'll share with you what I witness in couples and in individuals. So it's a inward process where you watch someone reorganizing their entire mental construct or reality because you're realizing this changes everything. And that's the nature of an insider realization is it ripples into every area of your life, every dimension, every person and relationship. And so you are literally living in a new world. And the fascinating thing about it is it's now your new normal. So now it seems like common sense. It seems obvious from this new place. Whereas before, it wasn't obvious at all. And you were stuck in this loop. And so, this is what I mean when I say you transcend the problem. That's actually possible. Transcend means to go beyond, which means the thing that was a problem doesn't exist from this new vantage point, from this new perspective. That's where there's that popular kind of saying that's like when the way you see the world changes, your world changes. I mean, it sounds nice and fluffy until you have an experience of that, right? And so my favorite part is then after the insight happens, there's this ripple effect of now what we call integrating the realization or insight. And it happens naturally. And people will start talking out loud as they discover what it means for them because you're expanding literally into new possibilities and you can feel it. Feelings connected to the insight, lightness, peace, clarity, giddiness. That's a really interesting feeling because it's a bubbly giddiness as you connect with something that was technically already there, but you weren't in touch with. So the giddiness is experiencing a new part of yourself. And the insight cannot be forgotten because it is the way things are now. But what happens is it comes from your intention to have that breakthrough or insight in the first place. Because I can't help anyone get to that place if they don't actually want to get there. But if you actually want that, I wouldn't say necessarily just the insight itself, but this other outcome. So I'll give you an example of a metaphor. If you're driving in a car and a car has been a great vehicle for you to get from point A to point B, everywhere, it's great. But eventually, everything that got you to where you are today, that vehicle is now exactly what's holding you back from your next level. Isn't that fascinating? What was completely necessary and worked is the thing that is holding us back now. Because we have defined a different and bigger and better, whatever, vision or different point B. And if the point B is now the moon, the car, that vehicle does not work to get you to the moon. So you need a new vehicle. And the vehicle isn't just a new skill set. That can be, one aspect of a vehicle. But ultimately, it's a new, completely different way of seeing and perceiving the world. That's a paradigm shift, right? So if you actually completely shift, and this can't be forced, it has to come from your desire, then you can enter a new world where literally new things are possible from that new vantage point or understanding. So it's unlocking literally new potentiality. And you did that through your intention. And that can happen over and over and over again. I join you where you are, and we move into the unknown, and it spontaneously happens because of my also similar desire to discover with you. And we could say gift and skill and strength and all that stuff too, right? But on the most basic level, I mean, that's what's happening, right? So I can't help you create anything that you don't want to, right? Seems obvious, but it's surprising because if you come with a small desire, goal, or vision, guess what you're going to get? What you asked for, right? So you got to bring something big and meaningful. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be big necessarily, right? I just mean like expand into allowing yourself to want and believe that something incredible called what you want is possible. And that's not, that's a different kind of growth, I would say. I mean, it's like a quantum leap, it's exponential growth because you are now coming from a new place within yourself. Another paradigm that we get locked in is, well, I've been in it for this long, so it must take a long time for it to go away or be healed or have a solution. It's not true. It's simply not true. Really, what takes time after an insight is the integrative process, but that happens automatically without you trying. It's effortless in a sense, in that now you're watching your behavior change because your behavior now exists within a new context. And the context of your perspective is what shapes your behavior in the first place. So now it just makes sense to operate in this different way. So you do. You don't have to try, right, to build a habit. You're not trying to build a habit. You are a new person. You walk in the world differently, and you're watching your behavior change slowly in that direction because it can't help but do that. Because again, it's obvious now, and it's just the way things are.